Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Doruk, and today I have for you my 23rd Hobbit League. My opponent for this game is Eris, and this will be our second game. The first game I played as the Free People, and so for 2 action tokens, and this game I will be playing as Shadow. And yeah, it's the league is almost over, so this is gonna be my penultimate game, which is exciting. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. I think this is an interesting game though, if I remember correctly. It's been a while, but let's dive right into it. Okay, so I'm playing as Shadow, and I start with a New Powers Rising, an excellent card to start with. Immediately gives you possibility to threaten Rohan early. And Candles of Corpses. Candles of Corpses is like not immediately useful because Fellowship has not been. It's unplayable if Fellowship is in Rivendell. But you know, um, it's candles. It can just like win a game from. It's just a little early for it. I think you'd really want to see this when you know Fellowship has been taking a bit like mini hits, and you can maybe sneak a little bit like a random corruption onto them. It would be really cool. But okay, so I start with 0 eyes and roll no more, which is certainly a risk, but it's also risk. It's like a 50% chance that my opponent rolls 2 or more movement, but they roll only once. So this is one of the saving grace of 0 eyes, where even if you don't roll eyes, Fellowship doesn't necessarily roll eyes themselves. So if they want to move a second time, they would have to give me a ring, and I'm not sure if you want to do that as Free People. Looking at this roll, I got my 2 muscles, which is good. I have a Palantir that I can use for New Powers Rising. Attacks, get ready, good. But like the cool thing about this roll is that Free People have got mini musters. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 with the token muster, so they can bring somebody to war. Usually the elves. So I'm from looking at this point of view, I'm not sure how effective the Elven Pincer plan would be. But yeah, let's see it. And my opponent starts by passing. I bring Isengard to war. Fair. Pass again. I get Saruman to war because there's literally no risk of them getting Gandalf. There's no Miro Gladriel shenanigans that can happen. So I know I want to get that die. Get Saruman, so I get it. I draw a card because, you know, there's one Palantir that I don't know what I want to do with. Fellowship moves. I play New Powers Rising. And technically I'm immediately threatening Helm's Deep from this point on, right? Like, yeah, they do this half army move, which is standard, obviously. You prepare, but I'm already prepared and you don't have any more movement. So I can technically just like turn 1 Helm's Deep. No Gandalf to be seen, so I can just like move everybody out. Would you have done it? I don't know. Right? Quite. It's a cheeky little Helm's Deep. It's free 2 points. It will bring like I'm not even sure. Like I'm not even like my plan would be to cover Helm's Deep, not actually take it. Bring Rohan like 1 away from war maybe, but then they get to muster a bunch of Rohirrim, right? Might be a mess. So it's a double-edged sword, obviously. Like bringing a powerful nation to war this early. But yeah, like certainly it could be an interesting. But obviously, I don't do that. I just prepare armies because you also want to attack. You want to find some other victory point somewhere else, right? So my opponent here, which does something surprising, I thought. They used a token to bring down the elves. And I was like, surprised because you already have 2 musters. Like, you're most likely going to be mustering nations down. What's the benefit of using the token? I'm not really sure. But I go ahead, keep going for the elves. I move to Daggerlad. I can still technically go towards Gondor, but and here my opponent uses a ring to move a second time. You could have certainly brought the elves down to war. And had you done that, you would certainly be able to muster maybe twice into Lorien. I don't think I would even consider going up to Woodland Realm. I think I would still go up to Woodland Realm, especially because I have many kings as well. But yeah, like you obviously don't want to over muster the elves because your force pool is just tiny. Like it's tough for sure. You do give an early Witch King, but I think if you're gonna get like 1, 2, 3 musters out of the Witch King, then it's probably gonna be worth it. I think I mean, moving a second time against no eyes is also good, which means you can go through Moria next turn, most likely. But you didn't even kill Gandalf. It's tough. Like, what would you do with this muster die if you were free people? Would you have used? Would you have moved? Would you have bring the elves to war? Like, what would you? What would be your plan? I think I would. Like, if you bring them to war, right? Because you have the last action, because you use the token, you can immediately start mustering. You could cause some serious inefficiencies. I don't know. I think I like bringing the elves to war, at least put up some military defense. But I obviously get the appeal of moving twice. Like I think if you were killing Gandalf, that's a different story. But yeah, no. Like if there was if there was one eye and you were moving against the one eye, like F5 would hit you and you would most likely kill Gandalf. Like that might be a reason to actually move. But like moving, just getting a free movement doesn't get you any closer to Gandalf. So it's interesting. But anyway, we go to turn 2. I drop Hits of Mordor and Orc Patrol. Fine, I guess. The Orc Patrol is not playable because Fellowship is in still Rivendell. I allocate 1 eye, I roll 1 more, and I get a decent-ish roll, I would say. Not the craziest roll, not the best roll, not the worst roll. Had they brought the elves to war, not given me a ring, I would not have been able to get the Witch King. Yeah, this I would much rather have army rolls in this position because I want this Daggerlad army to move up as well as the armies in Moria to merge in front of Lorien. But given this roll and this many musters, people will be able to muster some units in muster some elves. Oh, sorry, they. Okay, so they. It's still 2 wills, 1 muster. Like in this again with this kind of a roll, yeah, I would absolutely use a ring to kill Gandalf. Plus you get like maybe musters. So yeah. So they immediately move. They want to kill off Gandalf. I don't know why they immediately move. Is there any rush? Probably not. I can't even bring like all nations to war, so your wills are safe. But maybe they just want to see how the luck will go, so will know for sure if they want to use a ring or not. But you can certainly wait. Like I know, like yeah, they're safe. I know what I'm gonna do with this monster. Put Sauron to war. You don't really know what I'll do with these Palantir. So I would just wait. Like, okay, you're moving again. You're now hit. It's a 2. Good. Okay, you have a Gandalf. Cool. Was there any rush? Like, was there any rush to get him? I don't think so. But certainly you know that's what you will do, so maybe there's no reason to wait. Who knows? Yeah. So I draw a card here. Because I really don't have any cards I really want to play. I will play many kings with 1 Palantir, but the other I'm not sure. Like, do I want to play Pizza Mordor? Not really. I would really want to use it as a desperate battle if I can. I already moved out of Dol Guldur. I was like looking at how does this army get buffed. Like, I played Power to Great, not Power to Great, a new Powers Rising. So Moria is like buffed, and there's no military attempt. So I'd really want to use this Pizza Mordor as a desperate battle. By the way, a slight inefficiency that I did, I should have left 1 unit in Dol Guldur, because these 2 units have, like, these 2 armies have 11 units in between them. And I think it's easier to defend Moria if it's open than to defend an open Dol Guldur. So I should just left 1 unit here. But anyway, slight inefficiency there by me. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't have any plans for the second Palantir. I can't play Orc Patrol or Candles, so I just draw. And Shadow Lengthens is a good draw. It can certainly speed up organizing armies down south. It's currently like not playable, but it's fine. They pass. I organize armies, and I mean they're gonna get Gandalf, so they have a single muster. So this elf looking really sad here. This is not it. Like, so had you brought the elves to war instead of moving, yes, you'd be at 3 movement. But like you would have been able to muster an elf into Lorien. And yeah, that's the opportunity cost of using a ring to move, right? You move instead of mustering a nation. So yeah. Okay, so I keep going. My plan here is obviously not let them muster freely an elf, so I'm just organizing my forces outside. They get Gandalf. Oh, okay, yeah, I use a ring. But I had a ring already at the beginning of the turn. So if I was going to do that, I should have really played many kings with the other Palantir instead of drawing it. Okay. Okay, I do a double army move. Okay, I like this, actually. I really do. Because now I get to use this character as an attack instead of an inefficient half army movement. Position myself right outside both Elven strongholds. So even if they muster the elves, yeah, so I'm just giving them 2 musters, right? Because I will attack. If they muster the elves here, I will attack. They will muster 1 elf, 1 elite, and another elite, so they will get 2 musters. But like, considering that how many musters they had turn 1, I think this is a pretty acceptable outcome, especially because I have fast reinforcements coming to dual line. So certainly worked out. But again, I think it was a mistake to draw a card there with the Palantir instead of playing mini kings, because yeah, if you have a ring, it kind of speeds you up. So I attack Old Forest Road, no card, no card. Get a hit, they get a hit. Fine. Yeah, the north is down. And we go to turn 3. So, oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention, they didn't bring the elves to war. They mustered the dwarves down. And I don't get that at all. Like, I'm not attacking the dwarves. The dwarves are not the priority. Just muster down the elves so that you can muster twice. Now, with this, you can only muster once. And, yeah, you just, like, lost yourself an elite there. Anyway, turn 3. I draw Monsters Roused and Cruel Weather. really good draws. Desperate Battle is amazing. Cruel Weather is obviously Cruel Weather. What do you get rid of from this pool of cards? Looking back, I think I should either get rid of Candles or Orc Patrol. Fellowship is still in Rivendell, so both of these cards are just dead weight currently. And I think like Dread and Despair is basically a free turn, free attacking turn for Shadow. Cruel as Death, obviously. So I think I would get rid of one. I think I'm likely to get rid of Candles. I'd much rather speed it. Like this Orc Patrol is just like a faster military. But I get rid of okay, fine. I get rid of Orc Patrol, keep the Candles. Allocate one eye. Roll no more, but this is a good roll. I have many attacks. I have a card I really want to play that I should have played. I will be able to get the Witch King, bunch of attacks, and that's my opponent gets this awful roll. Yeah, this is one of those I would say bad rolls. You have a single movement, single muster, all Palantirs. Like you have a handful of cards. Who knows if they're playable? If they, at least I'm hoping at least maybe two of them are playable, which gives you one draw, even like bad, but like had they brought the Elves to War, they would have just two musters to muster, which means you would have to use a ring to move, and it's against single eye, so this is a pretty bad roll for free people. And okay. So they start by passing. I put Lorien under siege. Why not? So Lorien, second. Sorry about that. My dog was going crazy. Okay, where were we? So yeah, my opponent passes because at this point there's no reason to muster the elves. I just besiege Lorien. I think Lorien is the safer one to go for. Because you're usually in the situation where you attack one, the free people get to muster in the other. I think usually I like going for Lorien because more central. It's stronger, so you don't want to get it more like much more stronger. So anyway, plus there's more reinforcements coming up due line. So my opponent musters in Woodland Realm. I attack Woodland Realm, even though like I might do something sneaky. If you really want to get spicy, you don't put Woodland Realm under siege and basically say, hey, do you want to give me a ring or use this will? And not move this turn to be able to muster into Woodland Realm. But I think it's just obviously correct also to just put it under siege, get two easy strongholds, get 4 points easily. But they do have Tranduils, so at least okay, that's good. That's a good start. Yeah, that's certainly good. That's one of the cards that you would be looking for as free people in this situation. I get the Witch King. I get the Witch King down in Lorien because now that they have buffed Woodland Realm, I don't need to rush it. I can just take my time and then just get done with Lorien before Power to Great hits or Celeborn hits. They still have reinforcements, so it can certainly happen. They pass. I move leaders here. And my genuine opinion about like conducting fights is that when you're trying to take a siege, you want to have full leadership. There's really no benefit for me to like attack without any leadership. So I do this. It does feel like sometimes you're doing an overkill. But in situations like these, like I just don't I don't have anything. Like I was gonna attack, I might move. I think, yeah, just move leadership. Even though it sometimes feels bad to just move a couple Nazguls when you already have Nazguls, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I move. Yeah, I think this guy should go either to Fellowship is a 4 movement. They're gonna be a 5. So maybe in Parth Calibrant I can put him. But if I put him in Parth Calibrant, they can just go to South Andine Well. It's the same distance away from Thor still. So really putting a preemptive Nazgul on where the Fellowship would be is not useful. So I just put an extra unit in Lorien to make like maybe a Dread and Despair. Or yeah, if I had that Cruel Weather in Orc Patrol, like this play would have obviously made more sense. But whatever. So they move, they're safe. I attack Lorien. Cool, that was the whole idea. And I'm guessing I'm gonna play a Desperate Battle, probably Monster Roused. Run into a Confusion. Okay. I get 2 hits, 1 against myself, and 1 more, so 3. They get 2, 3. 3 hits. Yep, 3 red there, cool. Yeah, just press there to. I'm cycling. Uma kill. It's not the best feeling to have 2 Muma kills. What do I play here? Either a Desperate Battle or Great Host, but I really don't want to play this Great Host because I really want to master. But obviously a Great Host just like guarantees that. Yeah, I think, yeah, I should definitely play a card. Probably Pits, just play Pits. Who cares? Yeah, I just overkill it. They deal 2 whack. So yeah, I think it was a quick, painless fight. 2 strong cards played, so. Oh. Now, my opponent plays there and back, and they're at 5 movements, so they can just separate bunch of people, move them everywhere. Like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, they just put Gimli in Erebor. Gimli and a Hobbit in Erebor. I think this is excellent play. Muster the Dwarves, Muster the North. I guess this is why they mustered the North all those turns ago. But anyway. I don't think that justifies it, but who cares? Yeah, now the Erebor is looking much, much more tougher. Like, yeah, I really like this play. You played Thranduil, you played Derenbach brought a companion and a Hobbit. I think bringing a Hobbit also has many benefits. Like, when this happens, I'm that much more reluctant to attack. Like, bring Witch King and attack because they're a Fateful Strike. They're obviously Mithril Coat that can just outright kill Witch King. This single Hobbit significantly slows down, I think, the attack. But you need some hit points, right? At this point, you need to muster the dwarves, so that's interesting. But like, I think this army in Woodland Realm will slow down this 810 army so much that you will be able to muster some dwarves. I think my opponent is doing a decent job at defending the dual line, like companions, Thranduils, you know, a little bit lucky. They get to muster there because that's how I like ordered my attack. So like dual line is looking definitely tougher. I play many kings. Yeah. And they use Gimli's ability to bring the war story. Yeah, I think this was a very well played turn by my opponent. They turned 3 Palantirs, a hybrid and a will into moving the fellowship, mustering an elite into Woodland Realm, playing Thranduils, separating companions, and now using that companion's ability to muster the Dwarf's Tour. I think this is excellent. I don't think you could have played this horrible turn any better. Again, I don't know your cards, but like, I think this was a very well played turn. Now that the dwarves are at war, I really need to contain them. I cannot let the dwarves get out of hand and just go buck wild around Dol Guldur. Like, I don't think there's a military threat right now. I do have technically 2 victory points. I'm looking at 4, even though Golden Realm is a little more buffed. Yeah, I don't want the wars to just go around causing problems. So my plan here is I need to get the Southron Easterlings involved as soon as possible. Meanwhile, organize these eastern armies and try to cover up Erebor. So in order to do that, I need 2 musters and like 1, 2, 3-ish attacks. Right? So like 1 attack, like 1, 2, 3. So 3 movement and 2 musters. So I need 5 dice. So I use this hybrid. I think either I should use this hybrid as either as an army movement or bring the Sathrons to war. So I use it to play Shadow Lengthens. Okay, I like this. Do I like this? I merge up in this and I put guys in Umbar. Technically, that doesn't move the needle for me at all, right? I still need 1, 2, 3 attacks and 2 musters. To get this army involved, attacking everyone. Like this, I was like 1, 2, 3 away, and 2 musters away, and I'm still 3 attacks and 2 musters away. So I don't know how much playing Shadow Length has moved the needle for me. It's certainly prepared Umbar, even though I don't have Corsairs. I don't know. Yeah, I think I should be more likely. I would be more likely to move armies, but the moment I move armies, I am not gonna be like if I move the South Rune army and East Rune, and then like this North Rune army into East. There's really no other good way to use Shadow Lengthens. I mean, maybe I can play it into Fords. It's interesting. I feel like I should be quicker into putting these guys to war and like organizing them. But I think I should have used this as a opportunity to meet up in East Rune. And then I need to have 2 musters, or maybe muster them once. But yeah, this obviously like feels good to play. It's just like organizes everything very neatly, but again, it's not really serving the purpose that I want it to serve. So yeah, I'm looking at this and it's like it's weird because if I use it as a muster, I'm an East Rune. I cannot use any more army dice until I put the Southron Easterlings to war. So I need 3 armies and 2 musters, but I need the 2 musters earlier. So maybe using this as a muster once, just to make sure that you get them to war. Might have been a little smarter, but yeah, maybe I go to Evela Karnan. Does that like change the dynamic? Like 1, 2? No, 1, 2, 3. It's still 3 to cover Erebor. Yeah. I don't hate it. I just don't think this was necessary at this point. Okay, moving on. That's a long explanation. Okay, so we go turn 4. I get Shadow is moving and Flocks. Yeah, you know, Shadow is moving is technically good, even though it's unplayable. I did many armies that I want to move once. I look at 1 eye, roll 1 more, and okay, I get this excellent roll. 2 musters, 3 attacks. Perfect. And my opponent gets this insane roll. 4 wills and penalty. I mean, and David Dawn is not threatened at all. So they immediately move. Like, even though the Day Without Dawn is not threatened, I can technically threaten it using 2 dice and still get 2 wills out of you. So my opponent is just like promptly moving and using them as fast as they can. I bring Southern Easterlings to war. They start mustering into Erebor, which I certainly think is correct. You brought all this reinforcements. You use Gimli ability. You want to reap some benefits out of it, and I'm clearly gonna attack there. So good. And yeah, I bring Southrons to war. They use a will to make this play, which I did not get. I don't get this play. Like, you use the will as a hybrid movement, and you move everyone into Dale, and move Iron Hills into Erebor to not leave it open. Which makes me assume that you're thinking about attacking into Woodland Realm, which signals to me that you have Help on Look. Like, this is the only way that that play makes any sense. Right? But yeah, you just like left Erebor open. So, and like incredibly open. And I'm not sure if I mind that. Like, sure, you Help on looked for free Woodland Realm, but I'm just gonna retreat into Withered Heat and attack Erebor, and you're basically saving Woodland Realm but abandoning Erebor, so it's not really any beneficial to you. You're just like wasting wills and Palantir to like make this play. Would you not rather have an extra elite in Erebor? Right? It was a 1-3. You mustered there once, so it was a 1-3-3 or something. It would have been 1-4, and basically Erebor would be unassailable. 2 companions, a captain, 4 elite. Like, it would be really tough to fight. So I go to Whale of Karnan, okay, and I go to Gaparoan. Okay, so this is my plan. Attack Erebor, and I also would like to still threaten an easy Helm's Deep. Because if you're using all these dice to attack and play Help on Looks for everything, you're not really going to be in a position to defend Helm's Deep, and I can just take it. Like, this move to Gaparohan is good. I can like merge in or think. You could also probably go to Nihara to Ambar, like just bring the elite. But there's no rush to do that. I don't have Corsairs. But I think this makes sense. I'm threatening Fords, maybe force them to use something else, but okay. They play Help Unlooked For. They help Woodland Realm. And that it I'm not gonna lie, playing Help Unlooked For its card effect feels amazing. So I can't really blame them. So, and they play Sudden Strike with 4 leadership. No, those guys are not participating. So 3 leadership. And they get 2 hits. Great. But they only get 1 hit in combat. So they rolled 11 dice and got 3 hits, which is a little below. You would expect a 2 and 2/3 of a hit. No, sorry, you would expect 3 and 2/3 of a hit. So you got 3. Yeah, you know, you got lucky in you got an extra hit in the Sudden Strike, but you get 1 less of an expected hit. So it like worked out, right? I get 1 hit. They kill the elite. Okay, yeah. And they're pressing. I retreat back to Old Forest Road. I'm not sure if this is correct. Maybe going to Withered Heat and trying to besiege Erebor from above is smarter. But I really wanted to like kind of protect Dol Guldur and not abandon it completely. Okay, they're still thinking. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to maybe retreating into Withered Heath is more correct, for lack of a better term. Like, but like I expect this army to go up there, and I wanted to keep Dol Guldur to link up with Dol Guldur if needed. Plus, I can muster in Dol Guldur, so if I just muster a couple times and just march them up, like at least this army can be. If they keep attacking this Old Forest Road army, I can just stronghold. I wanted to keep a defensive position because it's precarious. Like if they merge these two armies, it would be a massive army. So I'm like playing a little cautiously. So the other army move. Okay, I just take Iron Hills and merge up in Orthanc. They use the will to protect Erebor and Helm's Deep, which is fine by me because they're not moving, right? If you're not moving twice against two eyes, that's good for me. So this was the whole kind of plan in going for Orthanc and whatnot. So I think it worked out. Like, yeah, I was not really relying on getting a free Elm's Deep, but just threatening it caused them to thinking. What? Oh, they pass. I'm not sure if I agree. Because now I'm just gonna get to besiege Erebor, and I'm guessing you plan on attacking me from Dale? Is this smart? I'm not sure if it is. I like this, I think, a lot more for I like going back and forcing them a little bit more, I think. You don't want to have field battles, for sure. Um because I will hit you, and you're only attacking with like the dwarves and not the Northmen. Okay, I attack Erebor. They pass. They didn't even attack me. They just give me a free Erebor? Why? Um, and I'll just take it. No, I don't take it. What's happening? Oh, I attack forts. I'm saying, oh, I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna get to a free Helm's Deep and a free Erebor. Okay, I like this. I play Swarm Bats, most likely. Yep. I get 2 hits. They don't get any back. Okay, so I'm basically at this point threatening to take a free Helm's Deep and a free Erebor. And they use their will to like this. So yeah, would you not rather have a Gimli in the stronghold? Like you already made this play. And you just kind of abandoned Woodland Realm. Again. Like this is a massive army. 1 second. Sorry, yeah. So this is a massive army in Dale. And yeah, I really need to take Erebor because I want this 10 hit point army to be safe. I'd much rather have this army in Erebor rather than outside of it. And there's a single hit unit here. I can also besiege Woodland Realm, but then they just attack into Woodland Realm, right? I'd much rather, okay, I'm just going to take a free victory point, 2 victory points here, but basically save this Southron Easterling army, make them stable, and deal with this weakened Woodland Realm later. And yeah, they used their will to not move and still like defend Helm's Deep. So I basically get to make this attack. It's 0 leadership. I need to roll a 6 on 5 dice. So I absolutely will play a card. I need to get this. I can technically press, so maybe I don't need to play a card. But I really want to... I guess I really want to... maybe, yeah, like I do play a card. I do play Mumakil here. I do play Shadows Gather. But I have a press, so maybe I don't really need to, but I would really want to get this fight done, if I can. Because at the beginning of the next turn, this huge army will attack Erebor if I don't take Erebor with this die. So, they know card, I get the hit with a 5, so that certainly card helped. And yeah, now I just... Basically, free people gave me a free Erebor to save Woodland Realm. But now Woodland Realm's open. Like, that doesn't feel like an efficient way to defend. I still have this huge army. Like, this massive army can certainly take back some place, but it would take a lot of dice and a lot of hit points. So we'll see. We go to turn 5. I draw Deadly Strife and draw Isla. Okay, whatever. They declare the Fellowship. They go past Rivendell, past Moria. They didn't want to get to extra Moria tile. But like this keeps now gets them open to Candles of Corpses, Cruel Weather. All these cards are suddenly like live. And I'm not really sure, like, yeah, you don't want the extra Moria tile, but certainly like these playable cards are much worse for you than an extra Moria. Like, just by being outside, I can play Isildur and draw the extra tile if I want. So. Plus, you lose all your flexibility in separating these other companions, right? You were at 7 movement, I think. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We were maybe you were at 6. You could basically put any companion anywhere on the map with 6 movement. But now you can't, obviously. When you're in Wester Brown with 0 movements, you can only... You can still send people up north. 1, 2, 4. It's just tougher, right? Anyway. I allocate 1. I roll 3 more, a little bit more than I would have wanted. And my opponent gets a flexible roll. A little bit Palantir heavy again, but anyway. Oh, wow. Okay, so my opponent just separates Strider and Boromir and the Hobbit into Helm's Deep. And, yeah. So, they did not want me to get also a free Helm's Deep, which is understandable. But, like, now that they have separated all these guys, obviously they're planning on playing, like, a Dead Man of Dunharrow. They might have Riders of Theoden. Certainly makes the Helm's Deep fight more questionable for Shadow. But they also did many corruption damage to themselves, so they're now at effective 2. Even though I only caught them once and they used it to kill Gandalf. So we'll see. So I draw a strategy card here. Again, I don't have any playable cards. I could technically play Candles, but I'm not going to be able to play Cruel Weather. They're not getting it to Mordor. Sorry about that. Angry dog. Okay, so What was I talking about? Yeah. Playable cards, yes. I do have candles. I could play, and I probably play. Probably play. And yeah, the other cards I really want to play. There's not really other cards I want to play. Isildur's Bane, I don't want to play. I want to keep it as much as I can to a position where three people are a little vulnerable, corruption wise. But Candle's fine, but the other Palantir, I really don't know what I wanted to do. So I drew a strategy card, tried to find Corsairs to win the game almost immediately. So my opponent doesn't wait on the Deadman. They just play Deadman, recruit. So they're going to use this will to crown Aragorn. Which is... It could be problematic. I have not been attacking Gondor. I'm not like Gondor. I'm just not attacking Gondor because Corsairs exist. I don't need to bring them to war. They already give you 2 free victory points. So I play Candles because that's already something I want to do. I deal 2 damage. You know, good. Now they're effective 0, and they're still 1, 2, 3, 4 moves away. And they're not going to be able to move against 4 eyes. They crown Aragorn. I attack Woodland Realm. So now that they have used their will, they really don't have any dice to defend Woodland Realm. Right? At this point, if they attack with Gimli into Woodland Realm, they will have to use a ring. If not, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take Woodland Realm for free also. So I took Lorien for free. And by free, I mean there were no extra monsters. Erebor was more than free. I just killed 1 unit. Woodland Realm will be more than free. Helm's Deep is like, even though there's a companion there, it's just 4 hit points. I can just take this with this army if I just bring some leadership. So Helm's Deep is looking easy because I killed everyone in Fords. And if I can find Corsairs, it just can just be a very quick 5 stronghold kind of victory. I'm not gonna attack Dale. The North is not at war, so it's certainly good for me. So my opponent here attacks, uses a ring, not give me a free, like a free Woodland Realm. They use a ring to attack. And I was thinking about a card, like, do you play a Deadly Strife here? So try to like weaken this army. This army is huge, and if I can inflict some damage to them, maybe this like excess army in Erebor can join and cause some problems. Like if these 2 armies, a combined hit point of 15, 17, can like trade 1 for 1 against this massive army, which is 13. Dual line would be looking very good for me. So I was thinking about maybe playing a Deadly Strife, but I decided not to. I don't want to decimate my entire army. They use Mighty Attack. They get 3 hits plus the Mighty Attack, 4 hits. I get 2 back. So, you know, certainly happens. And they press. I go back to Old Force Road. So I just basically got a ring to besiege Woodland Realm. But like the funny thing is, they use the ring, and I have 2 more attacks. So I just like go back on it. Like, I was really surprised that they didn't put anybody in Woodland Realm. If they attacked, I retreated. They didn't like put anybody behind. I think that was a mistake. Right? Because you're now opening yourself up against this. Because just like move a couple elves back in. Maybe move everyone in. Like you would rather want to defend Woodland Realm than Dale. But I guess maybe they're thinking about going a military push. Especially now that they crowned Aragorn. They don't want this army to get trapped. But like, if you let me get a 2 free victory points, I will take it. And they use Boromir ability to bring Master Gondor down. And here I just attack because they can't attack. I attack into Woodland Realm and I just will play Deadly Strife, right? I will have 3 dice to hit on 4s. Basically, I'm rolling a Candles of Corpses, but for Woodland Realm, right? And they no card it, and I miss, and I completely whiff. This was very tragic to see in game. So just wasted a die and a Deadly Strife, unfortunately. You would expect a hit and a half. Getting 0 is 1 in 8. Certainly not impossible. Unlikely, but sometimes that's what happens. And they don't get a hit back, which is also like the most undeadly Deadly Strifes of all time, maybe. All right, so we go to next turn. I draw a red tile and Threats and Promises, useless card. I look at 0 eyes because Fellowship did not move. I roll 2 more, which is like an excellent amount of eyes to roll here. And my opponent rolls not a good roll again. I think this is way too many monsters. You would want to see maybe 1 more movement, a couple more attacks. Like, all monsters, I don't know what. Like, and it's still a Palantir, so I don't know what you want to do. You would probably put down Gondor, start mustering Gondor units. But also you want to attack into Woodland Realm. For me, I have useful things I want to do with the Palantir, which is I really want to put this red in because corruption could certainly be a problem for free. Maybe play Isildur, who knows? We will see what I do with the other Palantir. I really want to cycle, but I really didn't have the dice to be able to move the Witch King to cycle some units, cycle some cards. So we'll see. I think my plan will genuinely involve. I don't have musters as well, so this is a bit of a weird one. Not having musters, I just have attacks. So maybe I just move everyone to Fords and cycle on Helm's Deep. I really don't want to throw this army against Gimli because if that goes poorly, then the entire duel line is back in disarray. Yeah, what would you do as Shadow with this role? Certainly interesting. But like, first things first, my opponent. Oh, they move. Okay. Oh yeah, they move. They don't attack Woodland Realm. That's surprising. And I don't try to retake Woodland. I guess I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any really playable cards. The only one that could potentially help is Swarm of Bats. Oh no, you can't even because I don't have any leadership reroll. So I'd be rolling for a 6 with 3 dice. Certainly not impossible, but like, is that good enough to risk? And especially if I don't, if I see my opponent not attack me, I will assume that they won't attack me. So I'll just like, okay, I'll just move in. I prepare Corsairs and try to reinforce. So if they really want to go for a military push, right? Okay, I'll just like make sure I take the Woodland Realm. But now they attack Woodland Realm. They no card, I no card. They get no hits on 9 dice, which you would expect 3, right? You would expect 3 hits. Unlikely. Lucky for me. And I get 1 back. Okay, which is, I'd much rather have the 6 had I attacked into Woodland Realm, but okay. They press, I move back to Withered Heat, and now this time they just, I think, properly put everyone. They just completely like, I think, give up on the idea of pushing out to Dol Guldur, especially with something like a disc roll. So I think this is fair. So what I do, I reinforce Withered Heat. I put Nern into Gorgrowth because what else am I gonna do? Maybe I could go to Western Net to like Carpet Siege the Rohan. But like, I don't know. That's smart. Maybe I could think about going to Part Celebrant and trying to go for trying to merge this army and Force of Eisen army instead of this Nern into Gorgrowth. But at the same time, my opponent is clearly signaling maybe a military push. So I may want to get those two armies involved sooner rather than later. So they pass. My opponent passes. I now attack Woodland Realm from Withered Heat. They have 9 hit points. I have 11, but they have full leadership. Would they have taken a field battle? Probably not worth it. You really don't have like many elves to even muster. Maybe you could have mustered once and taken a field. Certainly weird, but like you don't really need to muster anymore in Woodland Realm. So I get it. I get it. Yeah. So, but they muster the Northmen. They wanna muster in Dale, and I still. This is a little weird because I still can't, like, don't have time to move my leaders. But like I move my leaders because I want to attack Dale with this character dice. I don't wanna. I could have used the ring to attack. Maybe I should. I think that's what I do. I undo this. Yeah, I undo this. I use a ring to attack Dale because I would really want to cycle cards, sure, but I really don't want them to muster. I know. Okay. I think this is correct. I don't have time to move my leadership. I get 1 hit. They get 1 back. I press. They kill the dwarf. I just captured Dale. Okay. So, as is, they have still Carrick open. They can muster in Carrick. Sure, there's this guy in Old Forest Road that can potentially threaten Dol Guldur. Fine. But they bring Gondor down. Okay, fine. I guess they really don't want to. They want to protect themselves against. Yay. They defended Woodland Realm very nicely. Helm's Deep is looking weak. Dol Amroth is looking weak. I don't have Corsairs again, but so I would say I have 3 strongholds plus Dale, so 7 points. Probably go to Rivendell, but we'll see. So I finally move some Nazgul, and here I make this play. My thoughts here were, okay, 3 people have effective 0 corruption. They're going for a little bit of a military route. And there's not really any place I really want to attack with these character dice. May have been a mistake not to take Helm's Deep at this stage because. So okay, like let me explain what I wanted to do first. I wanted to obviously surround the Fellowship. They're at 1 movement. Surround the Fellowship, get some rerolls on them, deal some corruption damage, and then maybe attack into Old Forest Road, cycle like they're terrible, and with this bounty like play a red. Like completely switch this turn into a corruption turn. That was my plan at this point. Because again, I don't have Corsairs, they put Gondor toward, they're defending Dol Amroth. Helm's Deep, I really don't like. I think Helm's Deep Siege is fine for me. But if I was like hesitant to attacking it because I thought they would have Riders of Theoden. I don't know why. like I can always besiege them. They play it, and I can like recalculate. But like I really didn't want to attack Woodland Realm, especially there's a Hobbit there. Certainly not big enough of an army here to take it. So I was unsure where I would want to attack. So this is the corruption route. Well, that's the route I wanted to go, because now that this army has been put under siege, contained, the Free People military attempt is looking much worse. I didn't believe in it, and because I didn't believe in it, I'm like, okay, the only way Free People has a road to victory is the ring dunk, but they already did so much corruption damage to themselves, separating a bunch of companions. I can technically get ahead of that, start putting red, start cycling character cards, start putting rerolls on them to catch them, and limit their ability to go fast, because corruption is an issue at this point for them. Alternatively, what I could have done is moved some Nazgul into fords, attack and taken Helm's Deep. At least that way, I would have been able to bring Rohan down to war and get an early mount. That would also speed. And maybe carpet siege Edoras, because like realistically, Free People will roll 3 musters next turn, and how are they going to use them? If they have Gondor to muster, if they have Rohan to muster, if they have Carrick to muster, where are they going to put those musters? So there's not much of a risk of me taking Helm's Deep and being worried about a big army in Rohan. But I just wanted to be patient with this Horde's army. Yeah, just be patient, and then we'll see what happens. So that's why I go for a bit of a corruption play here. My opponent musters the leader in Dol Amroth and a regular in Pelargir. And when you muster a leader in Dol Amroth, like you're pretty much hard signaling that you have Círdan or Imrahil. Even if you have Imrahil, I think you would do a leader still. But if I had Corsairs, I would have played it already. So you're just, but like this is hard signaling that you have Círdans. Which is fair. Like if you have Círdans, I don't think you have to muster here. The elite would serve better in Pelargir, so I don't hate this play if you have Círdans. But if you don't have Círdans, I don't think this is, because if I draw Corsairs, I will force you to use that. Like I don't care if I run into Círdans, right? I'll just, this 8-2-0, like with full leadership, can definitely take a 3-2, like the Dol Amroth with Círdans. I just like do it slowly, right? Like I will still like I'll still hold you to your word that you have Círdans. Like you're not like dissuading from me playing Corsairs, you know? Like I'll still play it and make sure you actually have Círdan. So if you don't have Círdan, all I'm saying is if you don't have Círdan and I don't see your card and my opponent's cards, I don't think you can bluff Círdan here as Free People effectively, is my point. But anyway, so here I attack into Old Forest Road from Witch King, and this is actually a very precarious attack. Like I planned on actually cycling a Dare Terrible. But like I said, for a corruption strategy. But as I make this attack, I realized if they have scouts, they can just scouts into Narrows and use a ring to take a free stronghold. And if they take a free stronghold, then military attempt is back on the menu, because Gondor can certainly take one stronghold in Mordor. So I was like, as I make this attack, I'm like, okay, I put the Witch King here, by the way, to be able to cycle some cards. Because even though this is a big army, I can just make some attacks and cycle cards, but there's a Hobbit ear, so that makes it dangerous. Cycle cards. So I just attack for, okay, I'll just attack Old Forest Road to cycle a card, but like, okay, I need to play around scouts. And so, but I do have Swarm of Bats, and I play that. And my opponent takes a big think here and plays the scouts. I think you have to play the scouts. You have to keep me honest here. Because if I don't play the scouts, and let's say I'm just cycling a card for Corsairs, yeah, you'd really want to have the scouts. Plus, alternatively, where else are you going to use the scouts? Fords is gone. Like, maybe in Pelargia, maybe in Osgiliath you might use it, but like, obviously, if you're going to ever use it for full value, it's going to be in Old Forest Road. And you have, and I have already played the Swarm of Bats. So I think you have to keep me honest and play the scouts, and I did have the scout Swarm of Bats. So unlucky for free people, but I think you have to go for it. And I do get the hit. They get the hit. Okay, so I move one unit here because, hey, if you're gonna let me cover Carrick, I'm just gonna cover up Carrick. And the reason is, even though, yeah, it kind of stretches, it over extends your muster dice. If I can just cover Carrick, I just don't have to worry about the north anymore. And yeah, you know, I'm just taking away your ability to, and because I didn't put Rohan to war, it's just Carrick and Gondor. But if I take Carrick away, then it's just Gondor. I'm just like threatening it, basically. My opponent now uses a ring to move, and uses their last ring to move. And yeah, Fellowship has not been rolling many movements for the past couple turns, so that certainly is bad. And now that you've holed up with Gimli, I think it makes sense that you want to move. And because you're 4 moves away, this is going to be your second movement, and next turn you want to move twice. So I think this makes sense. It's much less likely that you'll move 3 times the next turn. So, and if you don't have any playable cards, I think using this ring certainly is correct, even though it's your last ring. I do catch you, double catch you, two reveal, and this is an excellent. I like this good, right? I for a better value. Legolas dies. Gollum is guide. You're at 2 corruption, so all my corruption damaging dealing cards are now like in play. I do have Cruel Weather still, so like even the Fellowship ring dunk game not gonna happen, but oh well. Obviously, it would be backbreaking almost to have Morgul Wound here, but can't have everything. I put the red, they pass, we go to turn 7. I draw Rage and Worm Tongue. Not useful. Not much else to say. But like Worm Tongue is a playable, cyclable card. Technically, I can cycle Worm Tongue in Woodland Realm because if I kill the leadership rerolls the free people has, the Witch King would not be in danger. But for that, I need more Nazgul leadership up here to activate the card effect. Probably just throw away threats here. Yep. And yeah. I allocate 1 eye. I have to. They revealed. They have to hide. I will get a reroll on them. So 2 eyes. Okay. And they get 2 movement. Sorry, 2 character dice, which is again below expectation. Now they can't even get to Mordor. They don't have a ring. Fortunate. Here they play. They don't pass and they don't hide. I don't know why they're risking Morgul Wound, but anyway, they play Swords in Area Door, which is like, I guess they just wanted to draw another card to find maybe what card could you be trying to find in the strategy deck? Like Grimbjorn, like Kierden or Imrahil. Like I don't know. Maybe Eomer or Riders. That's the most likely card. That's the most used card at this stage. Here I attack Helm's Deep. Oh, okay. I completely forgot to talk about my turn, my plans for this. And I have 2 musters, 2 Palantirs. Again, a little too little too many, and a bunch of attacks. So my plan here is, okay, I'm just gonna get the mouth. I'm just gonna put the Rohan to war. And because they didn't also roll that many monsters, I'm just gonna put Rohan to war and get the mouth. That's my plan. And maybe play Cruel Weather. I really can play Cruel Weather. I can play Hill Trolls with the Palantir, maybe draw a card. That's my plan. And the other muster, I can play maybe a Rage. I can prepare for a Rage of Dunlending and Assault into Rivendell. Because I will have a muster and a Palantir open. So yeah, my idea is put Rohan under siege. My opponent hides. I don't have any way to move Nazgul, so I can't put rerolls on them. Oh, I use a ring to do that. I guess that's fair. I just like, okay, I'm just gonna cycle there and just cover their path into Mordor. I think that makes sense. Yeah, again, I didn't really have any use for that muster. Though I would have really wanted to, wish I used the muster for this Palantir, because this Palantir is clearly unplayable. Only playable card is Hill Trolls, and assuming that I'll cycle some cards, I might find something more useful to play. But like too much. And when I get the mouth, this other muster would have been an attack. So I think that was a little bit of a misplay. My opponent passes. I attack Helm's Deep. I play a character card. Yeah, I'm just trying to cycle like Foul Stench, probably, or They're Terrible. Oh my god, a bit risky. I think playing Foul Stench is stronger because, like, Mithril. I guess Mithril Coat or Fateful Strike are like, you just have one leadership reroll. You would have a 1 in 3 chance to kill the Witch King, because those cards only kill the Witch King on a leader reroll. So I assume they would play Ents, an Ent card. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try to deal some damage through maybe an Entmut and try to get this done as fast as possible. They play a Daylight. Okay, they are terrible into Daylight. Not the best. Get 1 hit. Okay, they get 2 back. I stop. This smart. Yeah, I don't want to get down so high, but because my plan is to put them to war. I don't really want to push them too hard. So Free People moves. I catch them to reveal. They stay hidden and take the full 2. And I think again, this is a mistake. Your corruption situation, my opponent, like, is not good. My opponent, like, his corruption situation is not good. Like, they are effective. They would be at effective 2. They would be at like here 4. And you're not even more, like, my opponent is not even Mordor. So I would just reveal and also get to play around like Nazgul Strike, Search, a Cruel Weather, right? There's no reason to stay hidden because you already have 1 reroll on you. You will have another reroll on you, even if you reveal. Yeah, you do want to get into Mordor, but you can't even get to Mordor this turn anyways. There's really no reason to not reveal. Because even next turn, the extra character dice roll will be useless. Like, yeah, you would have attacks. You could just stuff with it, but it's much less valuable than the extra corruption. Certainly, corruptions keep like racking up. If I get the mouth. My opponent starts mustering in Rohan. Okay, that's one downside of putting Rohan to war. I attack Helm's Deep, and yeah, I think if I was gonna do this, is there any reason to like wait to get the mouth? Anyway, I choose a strategy card. What do I guess? A relentless assault. Why am I not playing Words of Power or something? Or at least Foul Stench? Yeah, I feel like a Foul Stench would be better. Because certainly there are still Ents. I don't know. I'm not really in love with my card play here. I guess I'm still trying to find Corsairs to maybe siege Golamroth. Now that they've gone, now that my opponent gone down to one strategy card. Maybe I just think like because corruption is still a problem. Like cycle some character cards, find the other red, find I don't know. Other than reds, what are there? I threw away Orc Patrol. There's Foul Thing that could help, but yeah, I'm not really in love with this. I take no hits, miss out on 2 potential hits. Yeah, I really don't know how to play with Relentless Assault when against a card. Like Daylight, you're rolling 3, so maybe you should take some hits to deal some back. Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't take hits against advantageous position, but against the Daylight, it's fine. Who knows? But my opponent gets 3 hits, and suddenly these 4 hit points in Helm's Deep are dishing out some damage. And my opponent is mustering in Western. I think this is certainly correct. If you have Aomer, I mean, if you had Aomer, you would already played it probably. But like, if you had, oh sorry, if you had Riders, you would have played it. But like, this army can certainly cause some issues. Yeah, and this is the point where I wish this die was a muster because instead of using a ring on muster, I should have used the ring on this die and have a muster. At least I could have an attack. Not sure an attack would be smart, but I could move some. I could try to take it. I would have an extra cycle, etc. Yeah, this playing King is Reveal is basically like, okay, I'm just gonna get another Nazgul. I'm gonna defend gone Mordor. So opponent draws a strategy card. Again, I think you're trying to at this point find the Rohan recruitment cards there. But also like corruption is a problem, so you might better off trying to find Athelas and Bilbo's Song. Certainly interesting. So I play Hill Trolls both in Woodland Realm because I'm like I might organize my armies up there and just go slowly. Take Woodland Realm slowly. I can do that. That's certainly a possibility. And I didn't want to draw a card. I didn't have any cards I could play. Fortunate. Turn 8. I draw Denethor's Folly and Nazgul Strike. Yeah. Like Nazgul Strike is certainly good, but I do have Cruel Weather, so they're kind of clashing. Opponent declares in North Ithilien. Allocate an eye. I roll one more. Have bunch of musters, and they roll an insane They're just rolling so many Palantirs. Holy. They immediately move in. I catch them. I revealed. I don't reveal them. Okay. Yeah. Now that you're not actually soaking damage, you don't want to reveal against the 0. I don't think you can reveal against 0. I just muster an Orthing. My plan here is just I have a bunch of musters. I'm gonna reinforce Helm's Deep and take it before the Rohan gets mustered. So I'm just gonna muster there. I use they muster in Westernet. They don't have attacks. They don't have rings. So this Westernet army is stayed put. They don't have help unlooked for. So this army is pretty safe. I muster 3 times. Play Elven Cloaks. Okay. And I move out. And I finally cover Carrick. Might as well get that done. Draw a card. I guess they're, again, trying to find Riders of Theoden or something. And I start organizing up into Dew Line and just, okay, this army certainly. They play Athelas completely with unlucky. Attack Helm's Deep. Wanna cycle character cards. Play Foul Stench Man. Why? At this point, why don't just play Cruel Weather? Like, my opponent, I mean, correctly played around Cruel Weather. I think just keep Nazgul Strike and have an option to actually get another hunt roll on them, and also be in a position to move Nazgul freely, and just play foul. Like, I guess maybe I'm saving this Foul Stench to play in Woodland Realm, such that I can safely cycle some character cards up there without risking Witch King. Lidless Eye, I guess maybe put some eyes in the hunt pool if I don't roll any, but like I don't need Lidless Eye to deal corruption damage. They're already pretty high. I don't know. I don't think this is correct. Just play a Cruel Weather. The cycle. I get 1 hit. They get 2 back. At least I played around Field Wall. So I press, draw into Shelob. Okay. Play Cruel Weatherman. No, okay. I play Denethor's Folly. Okay. I'm not really. I don't think I agree with this play because Denethor's Folly is essentially the same thing as playing Cruel Weather. Like, they do the same thing. But this is a cyclable strategy card, which is an option, and it's also an army card, which can, you know, help get rid of Power Too Great or like the Power of Tom Bombadil. Because realistically, I'm at 5 victory points. I will be at 7. I will need 1 more stronghold. And where am I gonna attack? Either Dol Amroth, because they still haven't played Círdan, or Rivendell, because it's weak. So one of these 2 will be my target. And for both of that, Denethor's Folly plays an important role to attack those. Like, either try to cycle into Corsairs or get rid of Power Too Great. Plus, like, this Denethor's Folly is most likely going to be playable in Rivendell anyways. So play Cruel Weather. Like, I don't see why am I not playing Cruel Weather. My opponent plays Heroic Dead. I get no hits, even with the Devilry. Get 2 back. So I press again. No card. Shield Wall. I get 1 hit. Oh my god. I press again. No card. No card. Finally get the hit. Okay, they die. So this was a 12 hit point army against the 3 hit point army. And yeah, they took a beating. They took a beating. Uh, yeah. I don't know what else to say. And I did play cards, right? I did play even like Black Bread doesn't really count, I guess, but Devilry kind of counts. Certainly a tough fight. Like I brought in four uh elites. It was a 404, then I made it a 444. Now it's a 504. So like all those four of those elites. Um yeah, that was like unlikely, right? 12 hit point against 3 to deal that much damage. You know what? Let's calculate. The little side thing. Okay, so we were at this is a small little battle simulator tool, and I can show the link if anybody's interested. I can share the link. It's just a quick little way to see how fights usually would go. So they 3 people is 301 with a Hobbit. It's a siege. I will allow maximum presses, and they did play some shield wall stuff. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like I played Black Breath. I played the Devilry of Warthank. They played Heroic Death. That again didn't do anything. They played another shield wall. I no carded twice or something. Like something like this happened, right? And if I simulate, yeah, I do win. It does take attacker has 92% or more has 5 hit points or above. So it was a 92% chance that I have 5 or more. It was a 85% chance that I had 6 or more. And yeah, so it was like I was in the lower 15. Right? It could have been worse, obviously, but like I was an 85%. So it was a 15% to be lower than 6 hit points. So that was certainly an unlucky fight for me. But I think it worked out. I mean, my whole plan was just like, okay, just take Helm's Deep so that even though these Rohan units are mustering, I have the stronghold. That's the strong part. My opponent draws a strategy card. At this point, I don't know what they're digging for. Maybe again Círdan. I guess they really don't have Círdan. Okay, I play Cruel Weather here, and they move obviously, and I don't hit them on 3 dice on 5s. Yeah, I don't agree with this play. Just play Cruel Weather in the fight. Keep Denethor's Folly, and just play the Nazgul Strike. At this way, at least, I will be able to reroute my Nazgul. I would have still gotten 3 dice rolls on 5s as a hunt, as in a hunt roll, which would be basically the same thing as this. The only thing that this did that they used up their character dice. But like the question is, what would 3 people do with that character dice? They have a single character card. They might play it, sure, but like, yeah, it just gave them semi useful die. Yeah, I think I should have played Cruel Weather in fight and then just played Nazgul Strike. Small inefficiency there on my part. So turn 9, I draw Shadows in the Misty Mountain, Warrens on Toil. Fine. Shadow plus I got rid of Rage, which was sad, and it was a questionable play at that time. I could certainly attack Rivendell very easily. Those combination of cards. Yeah, Fellowship declares in Mordor. And the pool is looking not bad. It's a big pool, so the special tiles play less role. There are small tiles, like 5 tiles that Golem love. The other are like pretty high. But the corruption's like at 4, so it's not gonna be, it's gonna be close. I look at one eye, roll one more, roll bunch of musters, 2 Palantirs, and my opponent rolls this. And my plan is obviously, yeah, play Shelob, play Shadows. I have many musters, so just muster a bunch of Northumberland and attack Rivendell. I'm still just waiting on that attack. So my opponent immediately moves, which I certainly think is correct. They get a 1 and they don't reveal themselves. They go up in the track. And I think this is certainly a mistake. Again, this is the second time my opponent didn't use Golem ability. They would be at 3 corruption. Sure, they would be revealed. But this is certainly playing with fire. Like, there's no reason to go fast here. I mean, Shadow is not really threatening because I used all my strategy cards. The chances of me drawing Corsairs was 1 in 10. If you don't have Círdan, I don't know, but can I realistically get to 10? This round I cannot. Next round I certainly can. But yeah, I don't know your card. Again, it all depends on your cards. If you can defend Ol Amroth or other place, like the west side of the map is pretty well defended. The only other place you really need to defend is Rivendell and Ol Amroth. So if you can defend those places, I think you're fine. But if not, I obviously just. But you can't even dunk the ring this turn. I don't know. This is a tough one. I play Shelob. I don't want him to move again because the reason you didn't hide, you didn't reveal because you want to move again. So I'm like, I'll just put Shelob in. They try to find some blues, which is fair. I play Shadows. They pass. I muster in North Dunland. They pass. They play Smeagol, which is good to help the Fellowship. I muster one more time. They move again. It's an eye. 3 reveal. Now you can't even reveal yourself. So now this is certainly, you have 4 health left. Still 1, 2, 3 movement to make. And I've been holding on to this Isildur Bane. It's looking bad. Like, one more move, and even if you reveal to like reduce the damage, I can just Isildur into like a 3 or whatever and just outright. So the game is certainly looking like it's going to be in my favor. And my plan at this point, okay, I'm just going to attack Rivendell. And yeah, just win either by corruption because you don't have health left, or just militarily. But they do have power to grade, and this is a very clutch power to grade. This because I don't have any strategy card. I don't have any, like, had I held on to that Denethor's Folly, this would have been a no issue. But because I didn't, now this is a problem. Because this also allows, this gives time to free people to muster into Rivendell as well. So I move, I keep organizing units. They muster in Shire and Western Nets. I guess they really don't want to use these 2 units. I just fully assume that they have Círdan, but I move to Umbar. I move leadership around. I moved some leaders here so that if they attack into Helm's Deep, I have some rerolls. I put a leader in Umbar so I can maybe hard go to Pelargir for a final victory point. I brought the Mouth. Just spread some love, I think. Okay, yeah, I might cycle in again, one of the strategies that I have is I'll just put these 4 units in Dale onto Woodland Realm and just attack it slowly. This would be a 13 hit point army against 9. It would be a slow and arduous siege, but it's certainly doable. So we go to turn 10. I draw Horde from the East and Balrog. So I don't draw an army card. And that's bad. Because I really want to get this off. I really want to get Riven. I allocate 1, I roll 1 more, get at least a couple Palantirs to be able to draw cards. And my opponent gets a very perfectly roll. They hide. I draw strategy and I draw into Ulukai. At this point, there were many cards in the strategy deck left still as armies, namely Corsairs. I think there's still 1 more Deadly Strife. There's half orcs and goblin. There is a fighting Urukai. Like I said, Corsairs. I think like around half the deck, or maybe 5 cards in the deck are army. This was not lucky. This was, I think, maybe a little better than a coin flip. Into an extra card. And the funny thing is I overdrew because my hand was full and I didn't have any playable cards. And I'm still keeping Isildur's Bane. Maybe you say, hey, just play Isildur's Bane. But I really wanted to move and risk revealing and whatnot. So maybe it's wrong. But just see how the randomness of Isildur's Bane goes. But again, I also don't know if I will draw an army card. I might need to draw again. So I think certainly correct. I use the other Palantir to get rid of Power to Great. I kill Ulukai and the Warren's Iron Foil. My opponent musses their final Elven Elite. At this point, they don't have Círdan, but who knows? Sorry, it's irrelevant at this point. My plan here is, okay, I'm going to attack Rivendell. I'm just going to cycle some character cards, find the other reds, find Foul Thing, and then just win on Corruption. I'll just go slowly in Rivendell. Rivendell's easier to go slow in because there's no leadership, and Witch King is not in danger of dying. My opponent moves. They get the -3. Not the -3, but the red 3. They move back. They obviously reveal. And yeah, this is just... At this point, I can just play Isildur and just outright end the game on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. 5 out of 14. But I just was like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna attack Rivendell. Strategy card. Oh, I drew into the final. Oh, okay, this Deadly Strife was not an army card. Okay. I play Deadly Strife. I don't know why I play. My entire plan was just like cycle character cards, so why am I not cycling character cards? I might still want to find some Corsairs, so maybe that's why, which is fine. They don't get any hits from Círdan. They did have Círdan, like I completely missed. They did have Círdan. They played finally, but because they don't have any more units left, they're just gonna play it for the charge. Not getting. So. Oh. Okay. So they play the charge. Finally, they don't get a hits. Unlucky. But yeah, so Deadly Strife gets 3 for me. I get 3 for them. All right. Again, I don't know why I played. My plan should be to just go slowly, but I guess if I can take it, I can just win. Oh, Day Without Dawn. Yeah, that's an army card too. They muster in Dol Amroth hard. I attack Rivendell. Play Foul Stench, please. Just, yeah. Okay, Daylight. Does not matter. I'm just trying to cycle. Get no hits. They get 1 back. Okay, so this siege is now looking more precarious. So I just stop, hide. I attack Rivendell again, cycle the Foul Stench, get 2 hits. They get 2 back. I stop and I draw into Foul Thing from the deep. So I have 2 dice. I have both the 2 tile drawing cards, and yeah, I just need to deal 2 damage with 2 tile drawing cards, which is certainly possible. One quick note is that 3 people can reduce the damage from Foul Thing with Golem ability, but they can't reduce the damage from Isildur. So the question is, in which order you play them with? How do you sequence them? And given that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles are deadly for Isildur's Bane, and if you get a 1, you still deal the damage, go up, and then for Foul Thing, this 2 would become deadly. A 2 on Shelob would be deadly. I mean, the other ones would not be deadly because they used it. So I just opt to play Isildur's Bane first. Small thing to consider. I draw 1, go up 1, and then I play the Foul Thing and I draw. I don't know what the probability of 3 people dying there. I'm drawing 2 tiles. Obviously, it's a given in Java that you're gonna draw one of the eyes. Always. In fact, I'm quite surprised that it's not both eyes. But yeah, that was certainly probably less damage than expected, just if it just feels like it. I would have been okay with even drawing the blues. This just makes the game even more likely that it's over. But like, yeah, I think this is certainly less than expected amount of damage. At least I would have wanted them to reveal themselves to the Foul Thing. I don't know. But certainly, Fellowship survives the 2 tile drawing cards back to back. So even, I mean, they have 1 health left. And they have 3 movements to make, so it's basically over, but certainly not over. They have to make 3 movements. They can just draw a -1 and just get right back into the game. So not over until it's over. I draw Fighting Uruk-hai and Palantir of Orthanc. Fine. And at this point, the only cards in the character deck left for me are the Red Eye and Red 1. So they get movement. They pass here. I don't know why. I don't think I mean, maybe you're trying to find Bilbo's song and there's another way, but would you not rather just draw a card to see draw them and play them immediately as fast as possible? Because at this point, yeah, you don't want to move in case you die. The only thing that can improve your chance is finding the reds and finding the blues and playing the blues. So you just want to get to them as fast as possible. There's no reason to wait. And you're also against my reds. I have 2 other reds that I can play. You don't know I discarded Orc Patrol, so I could be playing Orc Patrol. And for the other tile drawing cards, I played everything. I played Candles and all that. I mean, I could have Morgul Wound and stuff, but yeah. So I feel like you should just at least draw a card, right? But my plan here, again, I'm just going to attack Rivendell, cycle cards, go slowly, advantageous position, nicely cancels. Palantir, I would have gotten 2 hits. They get 1 back. I draw into red. So my plan is obviously clearly simple, just cycle cards. If I just find Morgul Wound or something, the moment the Fellowship reveals, they're just dead unless they heal. So, and they draw a card. Okay, I play the red. They play Ents. They get 2 hits. They play the second ends, get 2 more, and kill Saruman. And I'm just going, okay, they're gonna drop the file, but they don't do anything else. That was surprising because, like, you could technically muster a leader in Westernet and try retaking Hell's Deep, and 2 ends would have been excellent effort to take it. So I'm not sure how much value you get out of killing Saruman at this stage in the game, especially the fact that you didn't have another character card to play at the end of the chain. I don't know. I'd be more likely to just try retaking Helm's Deep, because the siege in Rivendell went so horribly. I'm not even sure I'm gonna get to 10. So you might definitely take your time. I'm still attacking Rivendell. I didn't want to play Fighting Uruk-hai because I wanted to cycle character cards, like I said. So I was like, I'm just gonna cycle cards. The advantageous position. I get 1 hit. They get 1 back. And if they had 1 more unit, I would have taken Onslaught. But in this case, I do no Onslaught. I draw a card. Play Grey Company. They buff up in Pelargir. I attack Rivendell. Why am I not playing Lidless Eye? I have no idea. I guess I really don't want them to get a turn where it's just 1 eye. They get a couple movements against 1 eye. This is just like an insurance policy, I guess, so that's fine. I'm still trying to find Corsairs. Heroic Debt against Onslaught. I don't even have full combat strength. Hero. They get 1. Yeah, Rivendell has been a tough cookie. Draw a character card. I draw a character card. And my opponent at this stage, they have not moved yet or hid this turn, so they have to move. They move, and it's a -1. Look at that. That's the best tile you could have drawn. And yeah, my opponent says, makes up for the red. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fair to get a red for a blue. I think reds is much stronger than a blue, unless it's file. But yeah. So here, I just use a muster to defend Orthanc. I don't want free people to get some ideas, seeing all these open strongholds and just try to retake Orthanc, or just besiege Helm's Deep and take it. So this is a bit of an insurance policy. Yeah. They muster a leader, they must finally do that. I finally buff up in Woodland Realm and go to Moranon. Okay. At this point, I guess I'm just like, okay, it's over corruption-wise. So I'm just like buffing up my empty strongholds to not die to a free people military attempt. I allocate 1 eye, roll no more, get bunch of characters. My opponent gets 1 move. Certainly unlikely, but this is exactly the kind of roll I kept Lidless Eye for, but my opponent just didn't. They move against the single eye, which is certainly correct. They get an eye. They're revealed, and it's a 1R, and it's just like on the cusp. I don't have I don't have Mortal Wound. I don't have Lure of the Ring. I don't have Breaking. So all 3 of them are in the character deck. So if I draw a character card, it's gonna be a 50% chance that I draw one. So my entire plan at this point is attack, cycle in Rivendell. Don't care if the Witch King dies. Just cycle, cycle, cycle. Try to find the reveal damage hitting tile. And free people can't even hide. They don't have the dice. So I think it's pretty over. Oh, and I drew Half Orcs on Goblin Man, so I can just like make sure I get some more cycles. Yeah, I attack Shadow. I cycle Grond. They confuse me. I get 1 hit. They get no back. I cycle into the Lure of the Ring. game is over. Do that, and I just play lure, and it's over. This was a long game, but it was a really fun game. I think, yeah, this was a tough fight. The Helm's Deep just massacred my forces. Rivendell was a tough nut to crack. I still haven't taken. Gimli's still alive, and Wildenrealm chilling. Yeah, I think the mistakes were made from both players. Like, had my opponent just, I think this help on looked for plan seems like it costed more than it did. I could have also had a very easy Woodland Realm had that Deadly Strife not missed. So it was certainly a bit lucky for my opponent there. And yeah, I by the way, I have 2 cards left in the army deck and still haven't seen Corsairs. And we just call and kind of talk about it, and I draw the cards, and Corsairs end up becoming on the bottom of the deck. So we both played. I was trying to find Corsairs. My opponent was trying to defend against it. It's such a powerful card. I like, yeah, the entire, like, even if it's on the bottom of the deck, it alters the game in such a way that it's just crazy. But yeah, I think I recognized when Free People were down on corruption after I've been able to contain Gimli and Free People were just chilling outside Mordor. My opponent didn't roll enough movements, but I don't know if that would moving fast would have helped corruption wise. At that stage, I'm not really sure. I would certainly take Rivendell, but like now looking at this point, like this game state, where do I get my final point as Shadow? Not sure. Edoras is certainly not looking likely. Pelargir is insanely defended. Even if I find Corsairs, Sol Amroth is a tough fight. It's gonna be a battle for my final point anyway. So it had 3 people not died to corruption, it would have been interesting. Like the Shire and the Grey Havens are very well defended. So yeah, it would have been very interesting had the game was like going a little longer. And my definitely bad card play caused me to stall on the Rivendell with power too great and allowed my opponent to muster a couple elites in there, which certainly helped them. So this whole situation was like it's cool. My opponent went hard on military. They didn't really do anything with this Aragorn and Boromir. I don't know. I think I played well where I was able to switch my game plan into military from corruption at a correct time, because had I gone it earlier, maybe they could have pushed military. But this was a really fun game. A really long game, and my opponent also was really unlucky about the fact that their strongest character cards, corruption damage dealing, like healing cards, were on the bottom half of the deck, right? On the bottom 10 of the deck. So they really couldn't help the Fellowship any more than they could have. And their Athelas whiffed. Like, certainly some stuff had to go wrong for them. I don't think the Mordor track was necessarily that crazy for either side. So yeah, some stuff really had to go wrong for them to get this close to dying that early. So, but yeah, it was a well played game, and with this win, I am at a 13-10. The final game left. Again, I don't think I'm going to be able to qualify because of the win rate. But yeah, awesome game. And this is a long one. So I hope this was instructive. I hope this was fun to watch. Air's doing crazy things. Okay. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care. Bye bye. See you later.